Good morning. It's been a little bit of confusion around my shop for the last month between remodeling it, straightening things up, getting ready for the Richard King scraping class, and then I went off for 15 days to Oklahoma to see the sailing boat Seeker. I've got some video that I shot up there of that going to be coming out pretty soon, and I'll post a link over to his channel. I thought the man was crazy, to be honest with you. I thought the man was a little bit touched. As a matter of fact, I mean, who in their right mind would build a 74-foot sailing vessel out of steel in their front yard 2.5 miles from downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma? Well, it's a long story to that, and turns out he's not as touched as I thought he was. Well, I've been gone for the shop for about 3 weeks now, and this coronavirus has kind of forced me into spending a little more time here. So I thought I'd give you a little tour of what's been going on since the Richard King scraping class, and show you what I'm going to have to do for a couple days here to get things back on track. Get you down out of the, take you kind of on a walking tour. That's the old beast. Going to be doing a lot of planing in the upcoming days. The room's kind of like it was when I left it to run up to Tulsa. These are all mine that are all finished and painted, and we use them for measuring different things and checking other straight edges out. I got to put up my cylindrical square. This is a magnetic base cylindrical square. I bought it from Suburban Tools. It's a very precision instrument, and frankly one of the main uses we use it for is to let me see if I got one over here. These little these right angle blocks, they work great for measuring and making sure that the angle's right. Let me put you down here for a second. Scrape the bottom of this over. The way they work is, say I want to measure the angle. Can you see that okay? Say I want to measure the angle from here to here, make sure it's perfect. These magnetic squares have got a magnet on the bottom, and you hook it right there, and then this was not really set up for this right now, but you can take an indicator and you measure along the bottom or top of this bar, and it should be perfectly parallel to the table. If not, then you scrape on the bottom of the bottom angle here until it is. Anyway, keep eating buttons on my camera. Okay, well, that's how that works. It's been sitting out on my table for a couple. Boy, that thing is strong. Set you guys down out of the way. There we go. Comes in a little box case there. Got a lot to do here today. Those are all finished. I got to put them back. I hang them up over on the wall over there. I use these little hooks. Let them hang from that end. That one right there is a 4-foot that it's already treated, painted, and ready to be scraped. Just it's so deadgum heavy, I never ever want to mess with it. Well, I did get the electrical system finished, hooked up for my cylindrical grinder. Now I've got to get the belt put back on it and see if it will go. Somebody at one time had put this black belt on it, and show you in the back. It's got a counterweight that pivots with that pulley right there, and I think that black belt was so short that it wouldn't let it pivot out and put any tension. So to get the head up to speed, you had to hit it with a stick and push it down. So my friend Miles made me a new leather belt, and we're going to get it glued in. It goes down here. You see where it goes around the sheaves down there. It's got an assortment of sheaves you can put on it for different speeds. I tied a wire into the old belt when I pulled it out so that I wouldn't have problems. See if you can get in here, getting it around that upper pulley there. So hopefully my plan is to put a hole in the belt, tie the wire through it, and then pull the wire, and hopefully the belt will thread right onto the different pulleys it goes through. This 4-footer right here has been primed and heat treated and finish scraped, and it's ready to send to its owner, who was a participant of the scraping class. And we're just going to put it in a wood box and send it by freight company and get it to him. This one right there is also a member of the scraping class, Edge. He finished scraping it, and he's waiting on me to plane that long 36-inch for him and send it. We'll send both of them by freight up to him. It's cheaper. Fastenal, you can send it through Fastenal for about half price of anybody else. Those three right there also need planed. So what I'm going to do for the next couple of days, got those 4 to do. Richard sent me a message. He had some more coming, so I've got to do those also. And then we're going to continue cleaning up the shop. All that little corner over there is going to be taken care of pretty soon. Planer's just about ready. And it's the way I left it after I took off the last straight edge. I use several different methods for holding them. I'll do a little bit longer video showing setup on them. And out here in the main shop, it looks almost exactly like it did before when I left. Got a couple pieces of plywood over there. Going to make some wood boxes to send straight edges in. I've also got a pretty long video of how we started rebuilding all of this area. This is going to be my miter table. This saw here, it's got another layer of plywood that comes up so that it's perfectly level with this. And then it'll have a permanent fence going down the length on both sides. That pocket screw machine, I don't know where it is, probably go upstairs with the other woodworking things. I also have some Craig track, and it will fit on top of the fence, and it provides a way for stops to move down it. My old table had that, and it was really great. Got to finish up the cyclone dust system. It's going to come down through here, and that's where we're going to have a trash can on rollers so that we can empty it easy. I think I finally decided what I'm going to do to cover this area up. I'm going to put in an indentation here, and then I believe I'm going to mount all of my batteries in that recess, maybe even some drills. But I think that would be a nice way to cover that up. Then we're going to have to make all the cabinet doors for this. I'm to the point in my life where I've decided every cabinet and shelf I make from now on is going to have a door. They just seem to keep the dust out of them. You don't have to clean up so much. Like, these things just become a mess. The old room in here still kind of sitting the way it was. We kind of piled in all the tools after, so we could get some more room out in the main shop for the class. A grinder and Bridgeport, we use them in here. There's another heat treating oven. And all of this area over here is going to be repurposed. In the coming months, I'm going to start rebuilding, or excuse me, restart my project for my MechMate router table. And I believe I'm going to take all of this out of here, and that's where it's going to sit. It takes up 11 feet by 8 feet. I can still bring in 4x8 sheets of plywood through the double doors over there. I want to get started on this Camelback and get it up. Got the motor and everything I need, just need the time. I think first though we're going to finish this MechMate. This is the control box I made for it quite a few years ago. All the electronics are inside. Unfortunately, it's been about 9 years since I built this box, and I was using it on my Bridgeport Boss. The Boss 5 uses the same stepper motors that can be controlled by these Gecko drivers. But now it's going to be hooked up to these motors up here. You can see there's kind of dark, sorry about that. Those are all set up for the MechMate router table, and got everything I need to finish it. I just didn't have the space to put it in, but now we do. I got, see how open shelves get? It's just not nice. We're going to remedy that. Got all the drawers built and put in. Got to build the faces. They're all on self-closing hinges. Undermounts. I really like those, and that's about all I'll use anymore. I'm going to put in the dust collection system back here. As you can see, I've got enough work to last about 3 lifetimes. I'm not really sure what we're going to do over here. These rooms have more of those open shelves. These are screw assortments and blades, and it's kind of hard to see in there. But all this is going away. I may even remove these 2 rooms. Build cabinets along the wall and get them all set up to where I don't have to rely on open shelves anymore. It's kind of strange being here without the class members. There's upstairs. We did a heck of a lot of work in getting that organized up there. We're moving all my wood operation machinery up there. There's a 20-inch planer up there, a joiner, a router table, and that dust collection system's going over there for the white Cyclone. Put it over there, and then I'm going to run hard piping to everything. Well, that's about all I have for today. Just kind of a little tour of the shop, and you know, there is a silver lining to all this coronavirus. It gives me a lot more time to stay home and do what I need to do. Take care.